Hello, and welcome to this edition of Ref's Corner. My name is Brett Johnson, and today we have two very special guests. First is the director of the SA Refs Academy, Hendrik Gravenstein. Second is a friend of the Academy and Super Rugby referee, Quentin Emmelman. How's it going today, guys?
Good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Brett.
Good. Hendrik, first, tell us about this platform that we're using today and kind of what your vision is for it.
This platform is like a live stream platform. What we're trying to do is to the referees coming to the academy for a month's training, and then they go back to their different countries and little towns. And we'd like to get a live streaming going where every week we have a program where they can log in on the internet, and then we can do training like that. They can WhatsApp or SMS during the show, so it's a live show, and so hopefully through that we can still develop referees throughout the year. So they don't have to come to the academy all the time, maybe just 1 month for a camp.
Awesome, so a very interactive digital platform is your goal.
Definitely, I think that's a way forward, going forward, and training referees or training anybody anyway.
Awesome. And like I said, we have Quentin Emmelman here with us. Quentin, tell us first how you got your start into refereeing.
Well, I was quite fortunate. I grew up in a home where my dad was a provincial referee, and so my granddad as well. Never thought I'd actually start refereeing, to be honest. Always, as you know, as a player, you're always going out and trying to have a go at the referees and that. And same as I grew up in the house, and my old man always told me, listen, are you going to start? And my granddad told me as well, give it a go. And then went over to the UK, had a bit of a stint there playing rugby, and then got back, and then actually decided I would take it on. And today we're sitting here.
Great. And tell us a little bit more about your development process as a referee, kind of your story of making it through the ranks to where you are now.
Yeah, so basically you start at the junior levels and you work your way up. And we got academy squads and you got contender squads back in the day when I started. And you work your way up to national panels and to elite panels on the elite panel South Africa today. And then obviously the goal is to do Super Rugby. So gradually it all went along. It didn't come by just overnight. It's obviously it's a time-consuming thing as well. So you got to be patient as a referee. That took me today where I am now. In total, I've been refereeing 10 years, just over 10 years. Mm-hmm. So it's been a while, but a good learning curve as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what are some of those steps, from making the jump from a provincial panel to your national panel?
So it's quite a like I said, a time-consuming thing as well. So it's not just a jump overnight. So you referee junior levels. You start at the junior levels. You'd referee under 19 Currie Cups, under 21 Currie Cup, and then gradually work your way up to provincials, and then provincials you move up to Currie Cup side. And that took me about 3 years as well.
Great. And Hendrik, you've coached many up-and-coming referees. What are a few key factors in developing referees?
I think the most important key factor is ID the right person to referee. If you don't ID the right person, you're going to waste money on developing referees. And then I think I don't like to see a referee develop in a lab. So I'd like them to be on the field, refereeing games, and then get feedback straight after that. And then the next night they must rectify any mistakes. So I think through that we saw in the last 6 years in developing referees that upward curve in their training just goes skyrocketed. So for me, it's on-field refereeing, and then immediate feedback, and the next night they must rectify it. So we don't want to create little robotic referees, but a guy that's got a nice feel for the game.
Yeah, and are there things you're doing to, help with the drop-off in referees, with retention? So how are you keeping referees engaged and involved rather than trying it and then having a bad experience and then kind of stepping away from the sport?
Now, this is a difficult one because it's not always plain sailing, especially in the club rugby in Western Province. But then there's a support system. We've got the two coaches, me and Marius Franken. So if they have a bad day at the office, we'll try to pick up the pieces when necessary. And on the other hand, if they stuff up, we must be a bit harsh with them as well. But I think through the support systems and so we have in play, we haven't had many drop-offs.
Great. And what are some innovative new ways that you're training referees at the SA Refs Academy?
I think one of the big innovations is the vision lab we're having. So the guys will do 3 sessions a week where they will be in the lab, and then one on-field session. I can maybe play a video just to show the viewers what it's all about.
Yeah, and if you don't mind walking us through this clip.
This is an on-field vision and vision session. So there's little lights where they have to break, and they're in different teams. So they must scan and then identify their light and break it and go for the next one. There's also, you'll see later on, there will be some cards on the lights with different scenarios. So they must scan, go to the light, so-called breakdown, and see the situation, and then blow their whistle, do the sign, and then scan for the next light. This is a very great exercise in field awareness. These actually guys from Rugby Africa that was with us 2 years ago. I think this is a great tool for us. And speaking to the guys afterwards, they say their awareness on the field are just so much better.
Absolutely. And where did the idea behind the Vision Lab come from?
The vision coach Grant van Velden he's part of it. So we started with him 6 years ago. And that's just his baby, and we've just been developing it in the last 6 years till where we are now.
Awesome. And Quentin, do you guys do any similar exercises like this?
Yeah,
Have you been able to use the Vision Lab?
Not in provincial side. I have used it quite a few times with Hendrik already, which is a great concept. It just basically gives you back that game feel, if you can say that. And when you're under pressure, that's the perfect platform to use it. Hopefully this can go further as well internationally abroad, and guys can use this as a practice session as well.
Yeah, I know there's already interest in the USA to create some kind of Vision Lab similar. Kind of changing gears, Quentin, we're a few weeks into the Currie Cup season. How's it going so far?
Yeah, busy. We're closing to the end of the season really. Semi-finals coming up at I think 2 weeks or so. So it's crunch time. It's been a good season. It's been a busy season as well. And the pressure's on all of us. It's on players, referees to perform, and we've got to perform as well. So as I said as well, it's coming to the hot side of Currie Cup, and hopefully the guys get good opportunities as well.
Yeah, definitely. And has the referee group identified any new emerging tactics or trends that have occurred over the season that maybe you haven't seen elsewhere?
Yeah, we actually on a weekly basis we conduct what we've got to be hard on law-wise, and we've actually come to a conclusion that space is of utmost importance in today's game. If without space we cannot play, we cannot score tries. Scores are going to be low. So we've come out and said, well, we've got to be harder on space, offside lines, penalise that. So work hard in the first 20 minutes, create space, and the game will open up and it will flow.
And specifically with space and issues in the game, do you find that if it's managed at the upper levels that it'll occur lower down the ranks, or do you find that if we managed it better in the lower ranks that it would make its way through the game?
I reckon if we start and we set examples up nationally, internationally, nationally, it'll work its way through. And that's just with space, one thing. I'm sure with all the other things, it's like discipline as well. So we strict on players back chatting to referees. If we strict at scrum times, this will filter through to the bottom and set the example and set the bar on that.
Great. Tell us about your match prep as a full-time referee. I believe you're one of 7 full-time referees in SA Rugby. Is that true?
Yeah, basically there's 3 full-time referees, and then there's semi full-time referees as well. I'm part of the semi side, so still working up to the test ranks, and that's one of the goals going forward. So match prep towards the week would be, obviously, you got your fitness side of it, and then the mental prep for working through the games and that. So obviously, mentally, we would go out, watch as many games as possible of teams that we could referee on that Saturday or Friday. And then on the physical side of it, it is basically morning sessions training and then the afternoon sessions training as well. It's all leading up till the match day Fridays, and then try to forget about the game. I think there's a part where you gotta mentally prep for your game, and then finish up, relax, and forget about the game, and then Saturday go into it, and then I think hopefully it'll work.
Yeah. What kind of fitness are you doing throughout the week?
So it will be gym fitness. So we've got a training session or training program with John Mankeys. We've got to follow this as well. It's basically gym sessions in the morning, good cardio and muscle training, and then afternoon sessions will be field training. More similar to what Henrik and them's got as well. So they've got this platform where training sessions in the gyms in the mornings, and the afternoons will be field sessions. Might it be sprints, or it be technically trying to do 20-meter sprints or shuttles or anything like that. So it's quite a productive day.
Yeah. Hendrik, do you have anything to add about what you do to your referees throughout the week to get them prepared for their matches?
I think we basically same as them. As you have to be fit. And that we will do in the morning. We'll do our training sessions usually in the morning, either the bergpad, as you know that you like that so much, and then 3 gym sessions during the week, and then maybe a sprint session, and then during the season it's quite demanding, because every night the guys will be refereeing. So then we don't want to do too much fitness, otherwise the performance on the field won't be that good. And then just a law session in the afternoon, maybe some video work. The next day it's feedback time, game time again. Next day feedback time, and then game time. So that's how we progress.
Quentin, do you mind walking us through your match day preparation from the moment you wake up to the moment you blow the whistle to start? Do you have any weird traditions, or kind of what's your process look like?
Yeah, so as I said, you try and forget about the game as well. So mindset would be off the game. Try to focus on what you've been preparing during the week. Nothing spectacular. It would be, obviously, the main thing is to have a good night's rest. And I believe in any sportsman, professional sports era, you've got to have a good rest prior to your game. Wake up, good meal, good breakfast, so you can fuel yourself up for the game, so you've got enough energy. And then my thing is just not to be late. I've got a query about being not on time at a game, so being rushed. But I'm not rushed, and about 2 hours to an hour and a half before the time I'm at the field. Made sure that morning that I've organised my transport, or if somebody's got to collect me at the hotel, I would inform them and tell them, just make sure we're not late at this game. So that's the only small issue I've got is time. So when I get to the field, I'm all relaxed. I'm not rushed, and I think it's quite important on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there any unique differences in reffing Currie Cup as opposed to Super Rugby?
Big. I think there's a big difference between the two. Not in styles of play, so technically it'll be the same, but the pace is just immensely higher. For what reason, I'm not sure. It'll be the same teams that week in Currie Cup, and switching over to Super Rugby, the intensity climbs from 30% to about 60%. So that speed-wise, I would say that's the difference in that. Technically exactly the same, it's just a quicker, faster-paced game.
So knowing going into a Super Rugby game that the pace is going to be much faster, do you alter your training to adjust to that?
Yeah, we do. We intensify our training. So more cardio work, more speed work as well. So prior to Super Rugby season starting, and fitness levels obviously has got to be up there. That's your number one priority. It doesn't help you. You're going to go into a game unfit, and especially in a Super Rugby game because it'll show. You'll be exposed immediately. So utmost importance, fitness. Yeah.
Definitely. How important is it having a team of 3 that works well together?
In any level, I reckon that it is of utmost importance. If you don't trust your ARs and you don't trust the TMO, that's going to be a long day for you. So you've got to do your prep work correctly through the week as well. Just as you prep for your own game, you've got to prep with the ARs and the TMOs. So you all got the same understanding of what we're going to achieve on the Saturday. There's got to be that trust in that team of 3, and it's of utmost importance.
Are you communicating with them throughout the week?
Yeah, we do.
Do you generally know them, or do you generally work with people you're not really that familiar with?
Yeah, so my first season of Super Rugby, it was a bit different. So I had guys on AR, which was from different nationalities. So it made it a bit more trickier. But in hindsight as well, we would communicate through the week. We would discuss what we're looking at, what we're going to do. And in our provincial-based side, we communicate, and I know all the guys, and we've all been a team together for the last few years, so it makes it a bit easier. And that trust issue will never be there. So there's always a trust between referee, AR, and he would have your back, and same if I would stand touch or be AR on the next game, I would have their back as well. So I think trust is the biggest word in ARing, TMOing, and refereeing.
And after the match, tell us about your post-game analysis and what you do after the game to prepare you for next week.
Yeah, so after the game, obviously we'd have a few refreshments, as we all do, and socialise with the guys and that. After the game, Sunday would be rest day. Actually forget about the game, and then just get a clear mindset on the game as well. And then Monday would be prep work. So we would actually go and analyse our game, go and have a look at the whole game and all your faults, all the prep work out of that. So, and then we would actually work with our coaches as well. So each referee has got a coach in Currie Cup or Super Rugby, and you would work together with coach and referee and try and work on the positives and the negatives on the games as well, to work obviously to your next game.
So I have one last question for both of you. Tell us about the state of the game as it is, and what laws or what things you'd like to see changed or amended to maybe mold a better free-flowing game.
If I can come in here, Hendrik, I think what I said in the beginning as well is space. So the one aspect I would feel we would have to work on, and I think it's in the pipeline of changing as well, is there's got to be an offside at a tackle. So same as a ruck and a maul, we've got offsides. So ruck is formed, maul is formed, we've got an offside line. But I feel if you've got a tackle and you've got a arriving player, teammates at the ball at the same time, we should get an offside line. And that's the only hindsight reason we can create space then, and tries will be scored, and it will be an attractive game as well. If we haven't got that, you get to close down the defence. You're not going to have room to run. So that's one of my aspects I feel strongly about. Andrew?
Yeah, I think I can concur with the space. Obviously, space is of utmost importance. What I would like to see maybe is the mauls. We have some issues with the mauling. So difficult to legally stop a maul that's going forward. So I would suggest maybe that you can collapse a maul. So if you want a maul and the guys can collapse, and then you could maybe start a new maul from there. I know we tried it out a couple of years back with World Rugby. We had at the Hostel Rugby, and it worked well. So maybe going forward is something they can also look at.
Great. Well, I want to thank you two for joining us, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in all over the world. Until next time, we'll see you later.